Good Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern Mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and we're going to have some record-breaking temperatures today and again on Wednesday. We saw a few of those yesterday in the New York City, Connecticut area and many inland areas. While they're not record-breaking yesterday, they were certainly abnormally warm by about 20 to 25 degrees above where we should be for this time of the year. And these Indian-like, summer-like conditions will continue today, tomorrow, and Thursday before a rapid cool down and a gusty wind takes hold for the weekend, bringing us back to the autumn chill. And I'm sure by then we'll have more leaf drop like is being shown right here in this diagram. This is the daily video forecast discussion for Tuesday, the 18th of October, 2016. Sunrise looking good this morning on the visible satellite imagery with very little cloud cover. There is some low clouds this morning that's not being picked up on the visible satellite, and that is a result of the sun coming up over the horizon here with the satellite passing overhead. There are some low clouds and fog this morning rapidly burning off. We'll get into that in a moment. Water vapor channel, not too much moisture here in the forecast, but definitely much more humid conditions, and any of those showers that were around the region to our west yesterday are now well removed as the frontal band is well to the north of the forecast region, and that has led us into very warm, humid southwesterly flow today, and some record-breaking temperatures are on the way. Currently, right now, we have generally clear skies. Temperatures are in the low 50s over the interior and the low to mid 60s in the New York and Long Island vicinity, and also down toward the I-95 corridor this morning. And the darker colors here, this indicates the high temperatures for today. Some of these will be records around the region. Temperatures will be getting into the low and mid 80s across the forecast region for today. On the coast, we have some small craft advisories until 9, 7, 10, 9 o'clock during tomorrow morning. On the aviational weather deck for this morning over the interior here of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, south and central Pennsylvania here in the valleys here, we have a little bit of fog at the terminals this morning, but that's quickly going to burn off in the next couple of hours to VFR. And ceilings should be generally VFR thereafter for the rest of today. Southwesterly winds later this morning, burning off that fog. Sky cover mostly sunny, followed by increasing clouds later tonight. For Wednesday through Thursday night, a weak cold front moving through, mainly VFR during the day. Low clouds and fog developing at night could yield MVFR conditions during the overnight and early morning hours. There is a chance of showers, especially around Allentown and Reading, but not widespread. Thursday night and Friday, a bigger change. There is higher likelihood for lower clouds to expand southward in the area behind the cold front Thursday night and Friday. MVFR restrictions could be likely, if not IFR. A chance of showers, especially Friday afternoon when the cold front approaches from the west. Friday night and Saturday, the cold front moves through, and conditions improve to VFR in the wake of the frontal passage, with gusty northwesterly winds becoming breezy at 20 to 30 knots. So big change in the forecast coming over the next couple of days. Indian summer right out now. 63 degrees this morning outside of Newark. 59 is the dew point. Humidity 88%. The wind is southwest at 5. And visibility is about 9 miles, just a little low clouds around the region, burning off very quickly with southwesterly breezes, mostly sunny skies, and very unusually warm for this time of the year, but it has happened many other Octobers as well. Right now in Philadelphia, 63, dew point 61, south wind at about 5. A little bit of fog at the terminal, visibility 5. Over the top of the fog, clear skies, scattered clouds, a few of them during the afternoon, scattered about the region in the mid and upper levels, and VFR conditions in place for today. These were some of Monday's high temperatures, well into the upper 70s and lower 80s across the interior and all the way down to the Delmarva yesterday. Very pleasant even around the coast. Latest foliage report from FoliageNetwork.com shows the full foliage college here, color. Here as of yesterday, we see in the brighter colors of the darker reds and the oranges here that we're nearing the peak here in the northern and interior portions of northern New England. But here in New Jersey and southeastern New York, we're basically in the moderate color with very little in leaf change occurring yet. Into the tropics, Nicole is now exiting well out into the northern Atlantic. It has now become extratropical. We still have this disturbance here around the Bahamas. It's become a little bit concentrated this morning. Surface observations indicate that pressures are falling in the area. The low is expected to slowly intensify as the upper level winds become more conducive away from the shear that's now overhead. And a subtropical or tropical cyclone could develop during the next day or two as it slowly moves northward and then northwestward. Formation over the next 48 hours about 40%, the next 5 days at about 70%, and if this does get named, it will be called Otto. But right now, the latest model guidance is showing that this storm will not have any interaction with this cold front coming through the United States over the weekend, and it will become entrained in it. So maybe southern New England and interior New England will get rain from this, but our region remains on the occluded side of this particular development. We can see this generally in the model guidance here for Invest 99L as it's being called right now. Most of the model guidance keeps it well off of the New England and mainland coast here. Tuesday allergy report, basically it's on the high side for the mold spores here as that continues to be ragweed, and that's allowing people to be sick from colds, fever, and also coughing. You can see this nicely on Sick Weather's social media map here, the colds and common cold here in these listing areas here in New Jersey, northeastern New Jersey, the I-95 Philadelphia corridor, again around the major cities here. And that's the common cold. Fever, again, is in the same locations, and people coughing from allergies over the same locations. Forecasted charts from the Weather Prediction Center. Here's our warm frontal boundary well to the north here in southeastern Canada, and high pressure ridging all the way through the eastern United States, keeping us bone dry and very, very toasty warm. And as that cold front approaches on Wednesday, it will move through most of the region, should be dry, maybe an isolated outlet or scattered shower. The front then returns in a very stronger, much stronger cold front here across the plains. The northern plains and the Great Lakes will sweep through here on Friday. And as that does so, it will entrain this area of low pressure, which just flipped on us here. Let's see if we get back to this here. This will entrain this disturbance here, whether it's subtropical or tropical, and whether it's named Otto or not. It will entrain it and move it away from the U.S. mainland coast, but chilly air and strong Canadian high pressure will be building in over the weekend. The isobars will thicken up here as we get into the weekend. That means gusty northwesterly winds. We could even have some snowflakes down the winds of the lakes here as we approach Sunday afternoon, but we'll get into that in the forecast model graphics in just a moment. Taking a look at the 6 to 10 day precipitation probabilities, or probabilities here, valid October 23rd through the 27th, still below average here in the precipitation department. Slightly below average. I think that this is probably a little bit overdone here, as this ridge extension will probably develop and move further to the east as we head into the middle part of the next week. So this forecast here looks like it's going to be a little bit warmer than what's indicated here. 7-day temperature forecast, anomalously warm here. Some record-breaking temperatures again today and tomorrow across the interior, with temperatures in the low to mid 80s. There are some records around the region. You can see all those records on our Facebook page if you'd like. On Thursday, things quiet down just a little bit more of a southeasterly flow. Temperatures are tempered back into the 70s across the region, which is still above normal for this time of the year. We should be in the lower 60s right now. We get there on Friday after a cold front moves through in the morning. Winds turn around to the northwest. Temperatures begin to tumble from the 70s back into the 60s. Temperatures on Saturday with gusty northwesterly winds in the upper 50s to low 60s. So big change from 80 to 60 in a matter of just a couple of days. So those temperatures and that kind of swing will only increase the probability of people getting sick more than likely. Temperatures on Sunday back into the upper 50s to lower 60s, and that trend continues on Monday as well. Latest GFS model guidance shows that weak cold front moving through the region on Wednesday. Just a few isolated to widely scattered showers. Most areas will remain completely dry. Front will come through to our south, and then an area of low pressure will develop along the front as a stronger cold front develops in this trough axis here across the upper Great Lakes and mid-plains. And here comes the subtropical disturbance, which is either Otto or whatever it's going to be called, 99L if it's still there. As we can see, it's down on the lower right-hand corner here, and it will kind of phase with this area of low pressure along the cold front as it moves into the region on Friday night and Saturday. It takes most of the precipitation as the storm occludes over northern New England out to sea. So some areas would be dry slotted here and receive very little in the way of precipitation. But notice what happens behind it. The isobars begin to thicken and come closer together here. That's what I mean by thicken, as this storm really deepens in the St. Lawrence River Valley in southeastern Canada. And as a result, the pressure gradient tightens. We could get some cold air rushing down with these thicknesses here, 530, 540 thicknesses here, indicating some light snow showers off the lakes here. None of that will reach our area, but that gives you an indication of how breezy and chilly the air mass will be once it arrives over the weekend, and it will be with us into the early part of next week before moderation and temperatures begin to take hold. Once again, we could find a small disturbance moving through the flow again on Monday, touching off a little bit of light shower activity, especially over the north and the lower Hudson Valley area, and that moves out to sea. And more high pressure begins to build in for the mid part of the week, and a moderation in temperature trend begins to follow as well. So, of course, any chance you can get, steal away and get outside, especially this afternoon and Wednesday, because this weather will probably not be this strong as it comes back into the warmer side, the middle to the later part of next week. It'll be warm again, but nothing quite compared to this. This is true Indian summer for sure. For everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You have a great Tuesday. We'll see you bright and early on Wednesday morning.